Grade 3, how are you doing, my beautiful students? Today we have a new chapter, which is chapter 13, our first lesson of this chapter, which is lesson 1, fractions and decimals. Please open your page 416. So today we're gonna learn something new. We already learned what are fractions. Today we'll start learning what are decimals. You can write a fraction and a decimal to show parts of a whole. A decimal is a number with one or more digits to the right of the decimal points. Okay, teacher, we didn't understand anything. What does it mean? This is what I'm going to show you in here. Let's look here. I have 0.5 equals 1/2. Okay, this is what we know when we was taking our fractions and we talked about that's a half is 0.5. But how we can explain it more? A half here is a fraction. 0.5 is a decimal. Here is this is a decimal because we have this decimal point in here. And this is our fraction. Both of them, they show as parts of a whole. This is my whole. When I divided it into two and I shaded this part in here is a half, or we can call it 0.5. This decimal shows as a part of a whole, and this fraction shows as a part of a whole. So this is what they mean by fractions and decimals help us to show parts of a whole. Okay, so let's revise this. When we have a point, a number with a point, with a decimal point, we call it decimal. When we have a fraction like this, like some numerator and denominator, we call it fraction. And decimals and fractions show us parts of the whole. Okay, I'm gonna pass in here and we will know how to deal with those decimals. First of all, we're gonna start with the tens when we have only two numbers in our decimal. Okay, we call it tens. Now, how we do that? Basically, or usually, when we have a number, let's take any number like 106. I remember usually, or I always tell you that we start from here. We have our ones. Do you remember that? Our tens and our hundreds. Okay, we start from here. This is the ones, this is the tens, this is the hundreds. And here is the thousands, etc., etc. If we have another number, for example. But for now, for the decimals, it's totally different. Let's take the example that they gave us here, which is 0.6. If I will ask you what is the ones and you're gonna tell me this one, you start from here, it's wrong. When we have a decimal point, we start from the other side. It means the 0 is our ones and the 6 is the tens in the tens chart. And if we have another number, which is, we're going to take it tomorrow in the other lesson, but let me explain it here again, or more so you understand. For example, if I have 0.66, here's my hundreds. Okay, and if I have another 7, for example, this is going to be the thousands, even though you're not going to study the thousands on decimals, but I know you're smart enough and you're going to ask me questions about this if you were with me. So remember that when we have decimal points, we just do the opposite. Here we used to start from the end. Basically, here we're going to start from the beginning, the real beginning. Only with decimals. Say with me, the 0 is the ones, the 6 here is our tens, the 6 here is our hundreds, and the 7 here is going to be our thousands. Basically, this is our chart. And this one, we call it the decimal point. But for now, we're only going to deal with the tens. So let's see, we have 0.6. So 0 is in our ones chart and the 6 in our tens chart. Okay, so it's like this. Now, if we have a fraction and we want to make it as a decimal, how we can like convert a fraction to a decimal? For example, I have this fraction over here. Let's take any fraction, any example, I have no problem, but let's take something from the book. I will take number 6, for example, which is 5, so question 6, 5 tenths, like this. Okay, this is a fraction, and the question, they said, write as a decimal. how you can convert a fraction to a decimal. This is what you're going to see. 5/10. How I will make it as a decimal. Number one, if we have 10 in our denominator, what you do, you should know that you will have after your point one number, and before the point a number. Okay, usually here we have nothing in our side. Okay, we have 5/10. It means I will write a 0 in here, and because I have 10, 10 has only one number, like 10 has a 0. Okay, it means after the point it's gonna be only one number, which is this number in here, 5. Okay, it may sound difficult. I will show you another example. Look in here. For example, I have 9/10. How I will do with it? I see first my denominator, which is 10, because if it's 100, it's going to be something else. We're going to deal with it in another way, which is tomorrow's lesson. But I can give you like a hint now, so you really know the difference. Okay, if we have 100, I will do the same if we have 100. Okay, it's going to be different. Because here we have only 10, it means after the point, it's going to be only one number. Here we have 100, and 100 has 2 zeros, okay? In a 10, only have 1 0. So after the point, we will have one number. In the 100, we have 2 zeros. So when you see the 100, you know that after the point, gonna be 2 zeros. Okay? And like this, for the 1000, for example, gonna be 3 numbers. Sorry, not 3 zeros, 3 numbers. So here I have 9. 9/10. Of course, I will write, first of all, you start with a 0. I will write a 0 in here, okay? I will write a 0 because we're dividing by 10, so it's going to be 0. Like imagine that you have 9 pizzas and you're going to divide it into 10, so you're going to take less. It means each one will not take a whole one. It's going to be divided, so we start really with zeros. Even here, we're going to start with 0. Okay, so 9/10. So you start with your 0, you write it normally, and because we have 10, we're only gonna have one number after the point or the decimal point, which is here, the number that you find up. Again, I will not solve the 100 now because it's for tomorrow's lesson, but remember, when we have 100, 2 numbers after the point. If we have 1000, 3 numbers after the point. Okay, so for number 8, I will solve it. They said 2 10s. Let's see now how easy it's going to be. We will have 0 point. Because we have 10, it's going to be only one number, which is 2. So 2 10s is 0.2. 5 10s is 0.5. 9 10s is 0.9. 2 10s is 0.2. Going to continue. 3 10s is going to be 0.3. 1 10 is going to be 0.1. And those, we already answered them here. So 6, 7, 8, we already did them. And now here, 3 10 is 0.3. 1 10 is 0.1. Now I jumped here just to show you how we convert the decimals. But here they said, write the decimal for the shaded parts of each figure, let's say. So how are you going to do this? What you will do is, first, because here we have how are fractions and decimals alike, how are they? Okay, we're not going to answer this, we're going to work with this. Here you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 in the whole. Okay, we're doing our fraction first. And the shaded is 2. You see how we do it? So even though they said decimal, but first you're going to write the fraction so you know the decimal. 2 10s. So for this reason I started with those here, so you know how to convert. Now 2 tenths, it means 0.2. Okay? Here again, we're going to see the fraction. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Basically, all of them, they're going to be 10. Okay? Because here we're working with tens. So no need to waste time counting, but let's see how many are shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here, no need even to write the fraction. So because it's 5, it's going to be 0.5. Here, because it's 3, it's going to be 0.3. We only write the decimal. Here, let's see how many. So because 10, you're going to take 2, so it means 8. Here, the shaded are 8, so it means 0.8. Okay? So it's as easy as you can see. We just write the number that's up here, and because it's 10, we're going to deal with one number after the point, okay? Okay, now here, what they said, they gave you the fractions, basically, but with the written form. 4 tens, it means 0.4. They do this with me. 7 tens, it means 0.7. 6 tens, it means 0.6. Super easy, isn't it? It's like a game. 3 tens, 0.3. 8 tens, so 0.8. 1 tenth, it means 0.1. And yeah, that's it. Super easy, isn't it? Now here they said, write the word name for each fraction. Basically, we're gonna write the word of the fractions here, which is not about decimals, only fractions. So here we have 1 tenth, and here 10 tenths, and here for this decimal it's gonna be 5 tenths here because it's 0.5, even though it's a half, but we're gonna say it's 5 tenths, 2 tenths, 9 tenths, okay? I will just show you, I will not waste your time writing it because as you can see the video is very huge. So here are the answers. For 17, you can capture it. For 18, for 19, 20, 21. Okay, and here they already wrote, just complete this number line fractions and decimals. So 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, this is 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and 1, which is 1.0. Okay, so here we have our decimals. Basically, that's it for today's lesson. I hope that you understood what are decimals and how easy they are. Thank you so much for watching grade 3. See you soon. Goodbye.